Today we're talking about the atomic habit cycle and how we can use this in a real time situation. Let's say you want to break the habit of being distracted when you're doing homework. Here's your cycle of your bad habit of being distracted. You can replace this with any bad habit. Your cue, you go into the living room, or let's say your bedroom, to where you're distracted. There's people walking by, your brother's playing music in the next room. You also have that TV in that room. The cue of getting distracted is your environment. So you're gonna crave being distracted and listen to that music, or go yell at him to turn it off, or go watch the TV that's in the next room. You have your cue, your craving, your response. Your response is to get distracted from your work. And your reward for that, from getting distracted, is talking to that person, listening to that music, daydreaming, and it's just a cycle. That is your bad habit cycle. How are we gonna fix this? We're gonna start with the cue. It's gonna create a completely different cycle. The cue dictates the whole cycle. So if we change the cue, we're gonna change the craving, response, and reward. So let's take this example. If you have the bad habit of being distracted in your living room, change the cue to not be in your living room. We gotta start with the environment. We gotta start with what is the initial thing behind you getting distracted. So if you're in a productive space, if you have headphones on, if you are somewhere that is in a dark room to where you cannot get distracted, you don't have the cue of the distractions. You don't have the craving of hearing your brother talking, of listening to the TV in the next room. Once you change the cue, you change your craving automatically. Is to get the work done. We take it step by step. Even if the craving of getting the work done isn't appealing, we can change the craving to be appealing. Everything we're doing throughout this cycle is to be appealing and not hard to do. It doesn't matter. It could be something silly. When you finish your homework, in this timer that you set on your phone, you go get ice cream, go do something, you know what I mean? So we're starting to have a whole new cycle here. Something as simple as changing the environment you're in, the cue, and the craving of getting the work done to go get the ice cream. The effect of that is now getting the work done, and you get your reward of getting the work done and going to get your ice cream. And let's take a look at these. Bad habit cycle of just going into your living room, getting distracted, not getting your work done. And that one little shift of changing your environment has created a whole new cycle of getting your work done. So I just want you to see these two things and realize it's as simple as changing the cue. Have you tried something like this? Have you tried, instead of snacking, going and grabbing an apple and sitting in a different room? No, nobody does that. It's just a simple cue. It's psychology. Think about that bad habit that you have. Write down your cycle. What is the cue for that bad habit? What is the craving? What is your response? You know, that's the only thing you're thinking of is the response. But we're now gonna think about this whole process. And what's the reward of that? Something you don't want. Take that bad habit cycle, write it down. To the right of it, create your new habit cycle and start today.